Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth today. I'm Anah Parreli, and here is your forecast for November. Now, just a reminder that when we do the forecast with numerology, they're on your personal year, and basically that's it. And when we talk about personal year forecasts, numbers have energy that apply. It's the same every year. So whether we're in 2024, whether we're in 2025, this November forecast is going to remain valid based on the information knowledge that I understand it to be at this point in time. And of course, the pool of information is continuing to develop because that is life. We're always all growing and learning at the same time. And the way that we develop the understanding of numerology and numbers and how it impacts on a person's life is actually via the feedback. So at this point in time, we are coming to the end of the year. So whatever energy is attached to your annual forecast for your personal year, which is on the numerology playlist, it's one of the first videos of the forecast that I put up. In fact, actually, you'll see it as an annual forecast for 2024. Well, that's going to apply. Where I'm going with this is that's going to apply whether it's 2024, 2025, or even 2035, okay? So you can always go back and check it out. The other thing is too that because we're coming towards the end of the year now, you could actually go back and review the content that was loaded on the previous monthly forecast and make a comment. Let me know, did it apply to you? How did it relate? Did it resonate? What were the influences for you? Can you see perhaps where there were opportunities presented as aligned with the numbers or as indicated by the numbers, but they didn't occur because actually perhaps your lifestyle didn't allow for it to, or for you to take advantage of these opportunities? We live in changing times. I would like to think that nothing has really changed that much energetically around numbers for the last few thousand years. But it certainly will help me to get some understanding. So anyway, invitation is there. Go and check it out. But if you're new to the channel and you don't know how to calculate your personal year, just a reminder, you work your personal year out by adding the days of your birth to the month of your birth to the year of your birth, and you reduce it down to a single number between 1 and 9, okay? So, for example, I've got this one here, which is that I've used the 25th of March 1985, of course, as the example number. And so in this instance, while if you were looking at your ruling number for the person born on this day, their ruling number is actually double digits and it's a master number. But because we're looking at annual or monthly forecasts, we reduce it down to a 6. So we would have 3 plus 3 equals 6. So anyway, going back to it, the 25 is added together. 2 plus 5 equals 7, plus 3 equals 10. And then we add the month, 10 plus 8, because the 8 comes from the 2024, which is 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4 equals 8. So the personal year number on this birth date is 10 plus 8 equals 18, and then we add the 1 and the 8 together and we reduce it down to the number 9. So this birth date is for a personal year of 9. A bit of additional insight that we can gather from months, of course, is when we're looking at the overall energy of the month, and this adapts to these specific personal year numbers, is when we talk about November in itself, this is an even number because we do the 1 plus 1. November's the 11th month. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So therefore it's an even number, and it's considered to be a month of nurturing, being a primary energy, I guess, attached with the month of November. A little bit of awareness, reflection, contemplation, intuitive, that kind of thing. So for those of you in a personal year of 1, November's a month where after a year of new beginnings and new starts, there becomes this sense of adaptation and preparation for next year's energy, because obviously to be able to step into these changes and really allow them to flourish and grow requires a level of adaptation to changing circumstances. Now, what you can expect over November is a sense of personal satisfaction combined with increased self-esteem because you've had some success this year. Now, as the winds of change start to subside, there's going to be a new spiritual reality for you with a real strengthened intuition. Being November, this is probably going to enhance this particular energy. Overall, so far this year, you should have seen one that has allowed for feelings of inner peace, which has provided the space for you to focus on the intuitive gifts and expand them. But this will have been, I would imagine, in new ways. It will have been new starts for you, and next year should really see you actually start to develop those gifts more and feel even more comfortable with them. So for those of you in a personal year of 2, November is a time actually of preparation for next year, okay? You're advised to put some final arrangements in place for securing the most desirable partnership agreements. Now, whether these are love, business, or other aspects of your life, it's a time to create the space for relaxation. If it comes your way, of course, that would be a bonus. Time for a vacation or a holiday if you can get away from everything. This might include jumping on a plane somewhere, traveling somewhere, or just if you can't do that, simply breaking from your routine and spending a few days, hopefully away from home, where you are totally away from all of your responsibilities and you get some R&R. Some rest and relaxation. I should have expanded on that. And this is because you're coming into a time where things are going to get very busy for you and quite active. And so therefore it's important to be at least as prepared as you can be. And that's physical and psychological preparedness. So for those of you in a personal year of 3, November's going to see your feelings accentuated this month. This month becomes an opportunity to blend and merge your mind, body and spirit to bring in balance, okay? The balance is going to allow for success. Rest is on the radar for the 3 over this month as well. You've got to make sure that you get adequate rest and relaxation as part of sustaining and maintaining balance, okay? So there is a recommendation for you that if you haven't started doing it, that you might consider starting meditation or yoga as part of keeping a balance. You know, mindful activities such as mindful walking, these are mindfulness, I should say, would also be good if you're able to take these activities such as a mindful walk around the park at a nice and leisurely space or pace. And you might decide that it's something worth incorporating in your life for the duration. So if you're in a personal year of 4, November should be a month basically of feeling lighter and brighter and re-energized. And this is a consequence, of course, that will occur if you have actually completed the shedding, the decluttering processes of this year and made sure that you've got adequate rest. You know, you really should be starting to feel much lighter and brighter about yourself, about your life and where it's going. So it's now time, if you've managed to stay on track with those tasks, to start thinking about next year. If you did delay the self-care, you might still find yourself recovering, in which case you still need to prioritize allowing yourself this rest and recharging of your batteries, so that as you enter into the next year, which at the time of recording this video is 2025, you want to be able to jump into next year feeling rejuvenated and ready to grab all of the opportunities that present your way, and not have these new opportunities and new beginnings impeded because you haven't decluttered. You haven't got organisation in your life. This year is about being organised. It's like clearing the calendar, clearing your personal space. So yes, hopefully you've done what you needed to do, and this month is a time of consolidation for you. So if you're in a personal year of 4, if you're in a personal year of 5, then November actually carries the energy of testing and trialing your intuitive gifts and developing them further. And this is done by actively practicing them. You will also, based on the energy of this number, I would expect you to have a desire to further develop your gifts. And that's all part of that passion, that driving force. And what more can I say about it? Just a brief one. Yes, this month is about testing and trialing your intuitive gifts, developing them. The only way we really learn is by putting things into practice. So this is about fine-tuning your methods, shall we say. So for those of you in a personal year of 6, November is going to be a month to really pay faithful attention to your intuition and allow it to guide you. You're being prepared currently for some significant life changes to occur as you step into the new year. And this next year is going to be one where you consolidate on the gains and progress that you've made over this year. Now, I'm going to give you a helpful tip here. I hope it's a helpful tip when it comes to paying attention to our intuition and our guidance. What we find when, let's say, look, even for people who have got developed clairs, sometimes they will wane and ebb due to lifestyle or things going on in the environment where they don't feel they're able to connect adequately. I've had this myself at different times. But what happens is when we become deaf and blind, shall we say, we're totally reliant intuitively on the feeling, the sensation of what feels right to us and what feels wrong to us. Now, the way we are able to separate this when we are extremely confused, when we've got the mind telling us one thing, our heart telling us another, and we just don't know, we're stuck in this limbo land, okay? The way we tell what is correct and right for us is through the physical sensation in your yellow chakra. Now, I've got videos up about chakras, but you're going to feel energy there. It's that gut instinct, it's the inner knowing, and it is not to be mistaken for butterflies in the tummy or in the heart, okay? So you know what it's like. When we get anxious, people might get butterflies in their chest. Sometimes they get them in the pit of their stomach. Now, if you have a look at some of the chakra diagrams that I've put up, you will see that the orange chakra is in between the belly button and your pelvic base floor area, right? So a lot of people think when they feel energy in this area that that's actually their guidance. It's not. It's the center of their fears. The intuition sits above the orange chakra in the yellow as far as gut instinct knows. So it's quite applicable that we get that. But it's kind of like we can talk ourselves out of our intuition, by the way, if it's something that we're actually emotionally attached to. Like it could be that you find yourself in an unhealthy intimate partnered relationship and your head is saying you need to leave, it's not healthy, it's no longer good for me, I need to go. But then your head comes back at you and goes, yeah, but you know, he really loves me, or I really love him or her, or whatever, and you talk yourself into staying. But at the same time that you're talking yourself into staying, your entire body is telling you, no, this is not healthy for you. That's what we call intuition. And we can go with it or we can ignore it. We've got choices and free will. So basically, what the energy for November for you is to learn to discern, I guess, to really put it into practice, this business of following, understanding and following your intuitive guidance. So if you're in a personal year of 7, November actually is a very brief forecast, if you like. You're now more confident, you've got greater trust in your intuitive guidance, you feel more comfortable with it, and this is reflected in your decision making. So you're starting to feel far more independent, you're making wiser decisions about what you are doing, where you're going, how you're going to achieve the goals in your life, and basically just where you are at in general. So it brings a sense of greater peace through to you. And of course, just a reminder, this year is now coming to a close. So this is all about maximizing and preparing for the new year. Next year, you're going to be in an 8, a personal year of 8, which brings a lot of power and influences if you're able to maximize the potential of it. So this is about getting ready and feeling confident, and yes, definitely being able to follow your intuitive guidance in ways where you've got faith in your own decision making. So for those of you that are in a personal year of 8, November is a month actually of starting to take the focus of attention off yourself and looking to the people around you. It's been a very busy, powerful year for you. Personal years of 8 are extremely active. And so at the end of the day, now is the time, because we're coming to the end of this year, to really ensure that you're sensitive to the needs of other people around you, as well as your own feelings. Because this can actually raise your awareness to whole new heights. Now, if you haven't yet come to full terms with your abundance and positivity, your sensitivity may push you into self-isolation. So you're encouraged to take some space to relax, if I can speak, to meditate. Goodness me, I'm stumbling over my words. Meditate, spend some time in nature. It's a bit of a time, I guess, for some inner reflection as part of raising your awareness and trying, I guess, to take a bird's eye perspective of your life. You know, if you imagined you were that eagle looking down at yourself, taking a look at the other areas of your life, the people that live in your personal circle that you interact with regularly and that you want to maintain healthy relationships with, because relationships are a two-way thing. So it's about being sensitive to others while honoring your truth and respecting your own feelings as well. So, of course, for those of you in a personal year of 9, the 9, as you will be aware, especially if you've been watching the other videos, is about endings of cycles. It's about completions. It's about closure and that kind of stuff. So, bearing in mind, we're now coming close to the end of the year for your number 9 cycle. You're going to see an increase, or it's expected that you will see an increase in your confidence and your trust in your own intuitive guidance, in your abilities, this capacity to listen to what your body is telling you, at the very least, if you don't have a direct and conscious connection to your own guidance. Either way, it's about the positive influences on your decision making, the processes of it, and the capacity to build successful outcomes. And these outcomes are both personal and professional, because of course life is mind, body and spirit. And what we're doing within this completions is getting comfortable with the completions, with these endings. You know, not all endings are comfortable. Some are associated with sorrow. Sometimes there is an acceptance that an ending might be permanent, it might be temporary. But either way, it's about getting comfortable, trusting our intuition and guidance, so that when you go into the new year, you are in the best position to really create some positive outcomes for yourself, because you're going into a whole new cycle. And just a reminder, when we talk about cycles, think of the wheel, your bike wheel, as you're riding your push bike, or if you've seen people riding a push bike, a cycle is that full turn of the wheel. So when we get to the 9, it's just before the full turn. So it really is a case of if you feel that life has really dragged you down, you haven't bottomed out. Probably on the cycle 5 might be a bit of a case, because it's halfway through. That might be the bottoming out of the actual cycle. But either way, you're on the upward now. That is something that I would be reminding myself if I was you at this point in time. I would be reminding myself is that the cycle has almost completed the turn, and its new beginnings coming to you very, very shortly in the next year. Okay, so we're in November. You've got about another 4-8 weeks before you can really start to see the new beginnings occur. So, my friends, there you go. There's the November forecast. And thank you very much for hanging in there for this length of the journey. If you like the content, please do remember to like. If you like the content and you want to see more of this, then just subscribe if you feel comfortable with that. Either way, leave a comment if you feel so desired, or if the desire grabs a hold of you, because it always helps me feel validated to know that people are actually enjoying the content. It kind of encourages me to continue doing it. I know that sounds terrible. I get motivated when I feel that people are appreciating what I put up, but I think that's part of being human. Anyway, for now, I'm going to love you, leave you, wish you a very happy day, very happy month. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.